What's up, YouTube? Today we've got something from the good doctor, Witchdoctor Zero. It is what he calls the Mugsy. Cowhide. It's naked, meaning I think that there is no treatment on that. And I've got this, so I'll put that aside. We are going to get measurements and whatnot. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All righty. Let's get some measurements. Some more measures. 7.5. I think that they went all the way up to 9. I didn't grab them then. I kind of hesitated again. The reason I wanted it to be a little bit on the shorter side is because the Springfield Slims that he put out, I got kind of a longer one, longer-ish. And, oh, by the way, this came with a Sap Sack. Very nice looking piece of gear, that Sap Sack. All right, so what we got going on is this thing is a cable jack. This is the classic way to hold it. You got that nice strap. And I wanted this to be a little bit on the short and stout side simply because the other piece, the Springfield Slim, you definitely can tell that it's not short. Let's just put it that way. It's not cumbersome, but it's not prohibitive, but you can just tell, like when you throw it in your back pocket, there's a lot there, which is fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. But I just wanted something a little bit more manageable. Just so I would carry it more, basically. I have kind of been waiting to pick something like this up from the good doctor. And I'll pick up more like this. I mean, this is like the classic. I mean, it's not it kind of is a blackjack, I guess. But it's more of just a jack. I wouldn't consider this a blackjack. We've had blackjacks on the channel before. Feel free to rewind and go look. I've given those away, honestly. They were Boston leather. They could have been very easily Chinese knockoffs. I just wasn't very impressed with the build quality. I got them when I was like 18. So this is like... So yeah, it is almost 18 years ago. A little bit less, but a little bit more, I mean. But so yeah, I wanted something that would be a little bit more on the pocketable side. And I think I chose wisely. This won't be the last jack like this that I get. I can promise you that, especially after handling it. I would love to get more from the good doctor. The reason I pulled the trigger on this instead of waiting more, because I was going to wait longer. I'm selling nice, living on the collection. I'm always, it is what it is. But the good doctor is opening up a shop where I'm assuming that he will also tattoo. And because he recently put out a post, I shared it on a community post that, he's going to be kicking things up a notch as far as that goes. And he's going to be making more leather accoutrements and accessories that are like bags, stuff like that. It's high-end stuff that I think it would interest you guys, but it's going to be less to do with saps, blackjacks and jacks, and impact weapons. Not that he's going to stop. I don't think he'll probably ever stop. It's just that he's going to be doing other stuff. So there's not going to be such a wide array of stuff in the future. So he said, like, if this is stuff that you want, now is the time to snatch them up. So I did. This thing, it does have some give, and it's enough give where when you have a seat, it'll flex with you. It's not going to be something that is, you'd really be surprised between something that is like, it has no give to versus this, where there's very little, how much it's going to matter as far as your comfort in carrying. This is only 7.5 inches, but because of how these things kind of hold in your hand, it's plenty of, even without that, I could hold it up to here. It's because this is, and I mean, especially with this is plenty of room to hit somebody. You'll be able to use this kind of as a cue baton. I think it would work even on the downstroke, but if you've seen the movies, like the old gangster movies, the people that had these didn't hesitate to thrust them into stomachs and other such things. I think that if I'm feeling this correctly, the lead head of it is probably right here. There's a lot you can do with this. What you need to be careful of is accidentally unaliving people. If you do carry this and use it, you're going to definitely want to train a little bit, period. Whether that's shadow boxing or just playing around with it or practicing. I would use it on a bob dummy a little bit. These are things I need to do as well. However, I still retain a secondary black belt in Taekwondo. Not that that's like, I wouldn't, if you were like, I need to learn one thing for the rest of my life to protect myself. That's not what I would choose. But once you get to a certain rank, you're learning combatives, meaning you're learning how to use eskrima sticks. You're learning how to use nunchucks. You're learning how to defend against baseball bats. I'm also a former Marine. I served in Iraq, and I've trained with the Israeli Special Forces. These are all credentials I rattle off. And if this goes viral and people are crying in the comments about they don't like how familiar I am with the violence, I don't care. There's many channels. Go forth to the channels run by the fat, doughy EDC people that don't go outside, don't touch grass. Go hang out with them, and you'll be happy. You'll be happy there. It'll be great. This channel isn't really, we cover knives, but we also talk very frankly about the application of force. And if that's not something that you're comfortable with, then that's fine. But I'm not begging anybody to stick around. And you'll also find that other channels will lie to you. They will accept gear that's free. They won't tell you that it's free. They'll give stunning reviews to places like Survive Knives, and then take absolutely no accountability for the $2 million+ that consumers were defrauded. And I'm sure some of the flack in the comments, I take care of it. I take out the trash, But I'm sure some of it is from some of the channels that I've beefed with, some of the people, these YouTube streets, at least on this side of things, they're full of real salty crackers that think that being hard on the internet is like somehow their ticket to real tough guydom. Because honestly, that's what a lot of the whole, it's a whole different thing, but a good example is the whole astronomy crowd and the, I'm a guru at something because I picked it up and liked it, and I also happen to have untreated bipolar, so now I think that I literally know magic. Kind of reminds me, honestly, of some certain made-up martial arts systems or whatever that pick up something and then they go from being an expert at knife fighting to an expert at literally every single combative ever. That's not how it works, folks. When I was in the Marine Corps, I was a machine gunner because you simply, can you become familiar with everything? Yeah, but then you're going to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And being kind of good at shooting machine guns isn't really going to work out if you go up against any real force that is going to know, like, we're going to take out the cruiser weapons first. But in any event, this is a very capable tool. It is, I'm already enjoying it. I'm going to carry it. I'm probably going to treat it with Obanoffs, simply because I think it would protect it very well. I like it. It'll look even better, a little bit darker. I don't think I'll do it on camera simply because I don't know. It would kind of be boring, I think. But yeah, this is I've been really looking forward to buying these. I wasn't in a rush. I thought about picking up stuff from Coffin Creep before he closed up shop. He says he'll be back in some forms. Hopefully. I like the look of his stuff. I just could, sometimes I gotta pace myself a little bit. Witchdoctor Zero is very kind, very thoughtful. He gives a veterans discount. You do have to hit him up and send him some sort of proof. Usually I think what would be normal would be to send a VA card, identification card, or if you don't have that, photos of you over there. There's a lot of different ways you can prove or offer proof, right? It shouldn't be hard, guys. I mean, if you went over, then you probably have a float book, right? Like, this isn't, there's going to be tons of pictures. And there's really no reason. You don't need to censor the pictures. Anybody that's censoring the pictures, like, even a few years after a deployment, like, they're jokers, dude. There's no reason. Nobody cares. And if you work for the DoD, China breached our stuff. I think it was like 5 to 8 years ago. And got everybody's stuff. Like, China knows literally everybody that has worked for the government. That's the way it is. So, I don't know. I mean, like, because I've asked certain people that have claimed certain crazy things that run certain schools of made-up systems of fighting, and then they can't really provide anything, and when they do, they censor everybody's face out, and it's like, bro, this shit doesn't even matter, like, stop acting like you're a Navy SEAL. You're not. Only the Navy SEALs are qualified to kill people who don't speak English or read. Only they can do that. Sorry, I gotta be a little bit sardonic when it comes to American military stuff, because we keep losing wars to people that farm either rice or goats and use Soviet technology from the 60s and 70s. It doesn't make me feel good about things. And if you don't like to hear it, that's too bad. I mean, if you served, I think that you can probably identify with me that if we're going to go to war, it should be to win. It shouldn't be to police anybody. It should be to wreck stuff and then go home. It's a great piece, though. It's got me excited. That's why I'm babbling about so many different things. But I have wanted to kind of touch back on this this kind of guru craze of people, for whatever reason, wanting to LARP as some sort of martial arts expert or Olympian athlete. I mean, look, be careful who you give your money to, who you give your information to. If the best base for a fighter is going to be some sort of martial art. And then from there, you're going to want to learn other stuff. And it's going to take probably a good amount of time for you to get good at fighting. I'm not super great at it anymore or anything, but I'm pretty capable. A part of fighting is being unafraid to get your ass kicked. And that's not really what a lot of people want to hear, because they feel like they should be Jason Bourne. That if they buy a silencer, then what could stop them? And that's just really not the way life works, my dude-arinos. People just like to act important. Believe me, I'm not important though. I'm just a normal loser. You know what I mean? I'm a guy that drinks too much and needs to hit the gym and hit a speed bag a little bit. Right? I feel like I'm a pretty run-of-the-mill, out to pasture pugilist, former Marine. I don't think that I'm anything special, but I'm gonna have that hard-nosed attitude of, it's not hard to tell a faker. It just is what it is. But as far as this goes, this thing right here, you really are gonna have to be careful about how you apply this to people, where you apply it to. You're gonna want to know your state laws. I would encourage you to get a weapons permit. I really, really, really would, guys. Not that, you should have to. Everyone should be able to defend themselves. Honestly, where I'm at right now, this is legal without a permit. But I have a permit, so let's say I got to lay the hurting on somebody and they cry about it and they call the police and I get caught up there or wherever. I'll be, along with my ID, bam, here is the weapons permit. So now there's no question to, can you carry this? It is strictly a question of, were you defending yourself? And it should be pretty, I wouldn't say simple to prove, but it's, if there is video evidence, it should be very obvious you're defending yourself. Also with this in my left hand and this in my right hand, you're gonna need to have woken up real early, eaten your Wheaties, and done all your 5 prayers to Allah facing Mecca, every day for months prior. Because it's gonna be super, super tough for you to, 1, get close to me through this, and then 2, not have me literally breaking you into pieces. Because this thing is for sure hard. This is not a soft-loaded thing. I wouldn't hesitate to go to the ribs with this. And once you break a rib badly, you got to go to the hospital. And at that point, they're going to be asking you questions like, how did you get maced? How did you get your ribs broken? They're going to call the police. And you're going to be in even more trouble because you're going to have thousands of dollars in medical bills. And now the police are going to be up your ass about, where'd this happen at? Oh, we went and checked that footage, and you ran up on some guy and totally apropos of nothing, unprovoked out of the blue, or maybe you were drunk or whatever, and the dude, handled it appropriately and tried to get you to leave him alone. You wouldn't, and then you learned a hard lesson. The person who gets beat up, if they're aggressing, if it's self-defense, they could very well catch some charges. I wouldn't be surprised, especially if the police see them. I would fall back a little bit even. I would even give some ground. And if I'm not defending property of another person, I would be happy to. Because then if you're pursuant to me after that, the intention is clear. And there's no reason for me to assume you're not trying to hurt me if you're literally following me around. All right. In any event, that's about all she wrote for this one. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. He still has a couple of these up. They're about this size. I wouldn't hesitate to get them. Maybe if you have ginormous hands, I would wait till bigger ones come around again, but they also have spring jacks that are going to be a lot more flexible, obviously, have springs in them instead of a cable. So, but yeah, like the doctor said, I would definitely pick up things from his site now before, very soon he is going to be way busy. He's going to be opening a shop. He's going to be stocking it with goods. He's going to be setting up his tattoo station. He's going to be tattooing. That means he's going to be taking appointments, probably deposits. He's going to be creating designs in collaboration with his customers, and he's going to be tattooing them. That takes time and stuff. Will he still be making stuff like this? Yeah, I'm sure he enjoys making it. But I have friends who are very successful tattoo artists, and they're busy, right? They don't have a whole lot of time. So yeah. But in any event, check these out. Think about the things I've said here today. Check local laws and figure out where your gear and where your E2C fits into, your preparedness fits into the defense of yourself and the people around you and what you should carry. But yeah, all right.